Could the dragon outpace the eagle in the economic race? Let's unfold the story of China's impressive economic ascendancy over the past few decades. In a world where economies are intertwined, China has managed to carve out a path of growth that's nothing short of remarkable. This Asian giant, once considered a developing nation, has transformed into a global powerhouse, with an average annual GDP growth rate of around 10% from the late 70s until the turn of the millennium. Quite a feat, to say the least. This rapid growth, coupled with a relentless pursuit of development, has seen China leapfrog from the 10th largest economy in the early 80s to the second largest in just over 3 decades. Now that's what you call a sprint. Let's put this into perspective. Compare this with the USA, the current world's largest economy. Over the same period, America's economic growth has remained steady, but certainly not as fiery. Its average annual GDP growth rate has hovered around 3%. A respectable figure undoubtedly, but not quite matching the dragon's pace. But what does this mean for the future? Well, some experts believe that if China continues on this trajectory, it could soon become the world's largest economy. Imagine that! The country that was once primarily known for its Great Wall and ancient dynasties could soon be leading the charge in the global economic arena. Of course, economic forecasts are as much an art as a science, and the future is never set in stone. However, the signs are there, and they're hard to ignore. China's economic miracle isn't just a flash in the pan, it's a testament to strategic planning, relentless effort, and a bit of that old-fashioned grit. So, as we watch the global economic landscape continue to shift and evolve, one thing is becoming increasingly clear. The dragon is not just catching up, it's potentially soaring ahead. Stay tuned as we delve deeper into the factors propelling this remarkable economic ascendancy. More people, more power. Isn't that so? It sounds simple, and yet it's a fundamental truth that shapes the world's economic landscape. Population size, when harnessed correctly, can be a catalyst for economic growth. It's a resource, a labor force, and most importantly, a consumer market. Take China, for instance. With a population of around 1.4 billion, China is the most populous nation on Earth. That's about 4 times the size of the United States population. This massive pool of people not only provides a vast labor force, but also a gigantic consumer market. It's like having a superstore where the customers are also the employees. Now, imagine the potential of this market. It's like a sea of consumers, an ocean of demand waiting to be tapped into. Every new product, every innovation, every service has the potential to reach hundreds of millions of people. It's an entrepreneur's dream and a business's gold mine. In contrast, let's consider the United States. Its population, while substantial at around 330 million, is significantly smaller. The consumer market, though affluent, does not have the sheer volume that China's does. It's like comparing a lake to an ocean. Both are valuable, but one is undeniably larger. But it's not just about the numbers. It's about the potential, the possibilities that lie within these numbers. With a burgeoning middle class, China's consumer market is not just growing, it's evolving. More people are demanding better products, better services, and are willing to pay for it. This in turn fuels economic growth, encouraging innovation and competition. And so we see the power of population, the strength that lies in numbers. It's a resource that, when properly managed, can drive economic growth and propel a nation to new heights. It's a force to be reckoned with, a force that China has harnessed effectively. In terms of sheer numbers, the dragon has the upper hand. Who's the world's factory? Well, if you've ever looked at the back of your electronics, toys, or even your clothes, you might have a pretty good idea. Yes, we're talking about China. This country has cemented its place as the manufacturing behemoth of the globe, an industrial powerhouse that's unmatched by any other nation. Let's dive into some specifics. China alone contributes over 1/4 of the total global manufacturing output. That's right, more than 1 in 4 products manufactured worldwide are made in China. This is a testament to the scale and efficiency of China's manufacturing sector. Now, let's compare this with the USA. Despite being one of the world's largest economies, the United States accounts for just under 20% of the global manufacturing output. This means that China produces over 1/3 more than the USA in terms of manufactured goods. But it's not just about the quantity. China is also home to some of the most advanced manufacturing facilities in the world, From high-tech electronics to sophisticated machinery, China's manufacturing prowess spans a wide range of industries. And this dominance isn't by accident. It's been a result of deliberate policies and strategies. The Chinese government has continually invested in infrastructure, education, and technology, creating an environment that's conducive to large-scale manufacturing. Moreover, China's massive labor force, combined with its emphasis on technical education, has created a pool of skilled workers that's unrivaled in size. This has allowed China to maintain a competitive edge in manufacturing, even as labor costs rise. So what does this mean for the rest of the world? Well, with its manufacturing might, China plays a pivotal role in global supply chains. It's the go-to destination for businesses looking to produce goods at scale and at a competitive cost. And while other countries are making strides in manufacturing, none have yet to catch up to the scale and breadth of China's industrial juggernaut. In the factory of the world, the dragon roars the loudest. And as of now, it seems like the dragon isn't showing any signs of quieting down. What does a country's infrastructure say about its economic might? Well, let's dive into that question by taking a look at a nation that's been making significant strides in infrastructure development, China. Over the past few decades, China has been on an infrastructure building spree that's nothing short of impressive. The country has been pouring resources into developing high-speed rail lines, airports, and a myriad of other projects. Let's talk numbers. As of today, China boasts an extensive high-speed rail network stretching over 29,000 miles. Now, that's more than 2/3 of the world's total. To put that into perspective, imagine if you could hop on a train in London and travel all the way to Sydney, Australia. That's how far China's high-speed rail lines could take you. And it's not just about the rails. China's also been busy in the skies. The country is home to over 230 airports, a number that's been steadily climbing over the years. Now let's contrast this with the state of infrastructure in the United States. Despite being one of the world's leading economies, the US has been lagging behind in infrastructure development. The American Society of Civil Engineers gave the country's infrastructure a grade of C in their 2023 report card. And while the US has been making efforts to catch up, with plans to invest trillions into infrastructure over the next decade, China's already got a substantial head start. So what does all of this mean? Well, infrastructure isn't just about convenience or transportation. It's about economic power. It's about a country's ability to move goods and people quickly and efficiently, which in turn fuels economic growth and development. China's massive investment in infrastructure is a clear demonstration of its economic ambitions. It's a signal to the world that the country is not just content with being a manufacturing giant. It's aiming to become an all-round economic powerhouse. In the race to build, the dragon is laying down the tracks. In the digital age, who holds the keys to the kingdom? Our attention now turns to the burgeoning sphere of the digital economy. As our world becomes increasingly interconnected, the digital economy's significance cannot be overstated. And in this realm, China has been making waves, rapidly rising as a digital economy powerhouse. Let's dive into some specifics. The size of China's digital economy has been growing at an exponential rate. In the past decade alone, China's digital economy has grown from a mere 5% of its GDP to over 1/3. That's right, over 1/3 of China's economy now rests in the digital realm. This growth isn't showing signs of slowing down either. Predictions suggest that by the end of this decade, over half of China's GDP could be digital. Now that's a truly staggering figure. It paints a picture of a nation that's not just keeping pace with the digital revolution, but is actively shaping it. Now let's compare this with the USA's digital economy. While the US has been a dominant player in the digital space, with tech giants like Google and Amazon leading the way, its overall digital economy only accounts for about 9% of its GDP. This is a stark contrast to China's digital economy, which is 4 times larger as a proportion of its GDP. What does this mean for future economic growth? Well, it's clear that the digital economy will play a pivotal role in shaping the global economic landscape. As we've seen, China has been investing heavily in this area, and it's reaping the benefits. It's not just about economic growth, it's also about influence and power. In the world of the digital economy, China is coding its own destiny. This isn't to suggest that the USA is being left behind, far from it, but it's clear that in the race to dominate the digital economy, the dragon is making its move. In the digital realm, the dragon is coding its own destiny.